Alright, post-league wrap-up. So, what's the takeaway? First of all, we're moving relics back to the sideboard. Because again, I mean, sometimes I just have to accept some amount of main deck jukage, and I just don't... And I just kind of like not necessarily having too much conflict with the Blood Moons of the main deck. Sucks to lose to Proxy though. We can beat Proxy in games 2 and 3 pretty easily, I think. Sometimes we just don't see it, but then also Blast Zone could help. Yeah, Blast Zone could also help against this red-black. And against the multicolor decks, Blood Moon will just stop them from casting it. Yeah, Blast Zone actually shorts that problem up a lot. We should have beat the Pyromancer deck pretty easily, I think. Maybe not the Pyromancer, the Shapeshift deck pretty easily. Game 1 we actually have, we just mysteriously didn't play Blood Moon, unfortunately. Yeah, getting stuck in the 3-2 zone is not great, but hey, at least we finish with a winning record. I just don't know. It's just that we'd be able to capture the former glory. Yeah, and like there's this myth that like red decks are easy to play. Not this one. That's just it's a little frustrating that some people think that red decks are all easy to play. I think control decks are way overrated. Like, trust me. Look, I'm not like the best Magic player who ever lived. Trust me. I used to play control, and I would win a lot, but that's because like Counterspell was really good back in the day, and apparently it's still good today. Like, here's the dirty little secret: these control players who are really arrogant and act like they're better Magic players than you, they're not. I mean, unless they're like Gabriel Deceive or something. Unless they're like a pro. But, you know, if they're a pro, then they're probably better than you no matter what deck they're playing. But, like, yeah, don't let these control players get to you who make it seem like they're better than you because they're playing control. They're not. I really, really don't want to feed into this, what do you call it, stereotype, this, perception that, like, all control decks are really hard to play, and the players who play them are super smart. And, like, I mean, look, the reality is, like, some decks are easier to play than others. Like, Burn is obviously not one of the most complicated decks to play, but the gap between blue-white control and Burn is not as big as you might think. And blue-white control is not actually incredibly difficult deck to play. Like, obviously, there's some decks that are like basically any deck where you have tutors. That's the main, in my opinion, that's like mainly where decks become more challenging to play when they have tutors, because then you have to decide what to get. And also lots of modal cards. Modal cards also always become trickier to play. So I guess Spikefield in that regard is kind of a tricky card, because it has a modal purpose there. Pyrite Spellbomb too, ironically, and to some extent Relic, but more so Pyrite Spellbomb, because it's either a burn spell or it's a cantrip. And also Hammer, because every upkeep where you have 5 mana, you have the choice to return it to your hand. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, this deck is not actually as simple as it might seem, because, like, there's always a lot of, like, Den of the Big Bugbear, there's always the option to attack with that. There's, like, always a lot of options. And it always seemed like we actually had an out to win, we just didn't weren't always able to take it. And that Jeskai matchup was frustrating, because amazingly we almost beat them despite going to 1 land. And we probably would have if we would have hit the sword and then flame slash the Batter Skull. Although then again, they might have just been able to return that to their hand forever. But still, what we really should have done is we should have. And see, this is the problem. It's just that if they wait to 8 mana to play Batter Skull, then there isn't like a lot we can do in an Obosh build, because we don't have instant speed destruction. But even with instant speed destruction, like if they hold up 3 mana, then they can just like untap, then pay 3, return it to their hand, then they can respond by paying 3, returning it to their hand again, and like it just forces them to jump through more hoops, so that they can still protect Batter Skull indefinitely if they do that. Yeah, I don't know. Bloodstone didn't necessarily do that much, but I don't know. There's just something kind of appealing about this sideboard configuration. Well, anyway, I guess we'll see. I guess it could have been worse, but still kind of disappointing, but still not too bad. All right. Anyway, until next time. Let's see.